Hello students, welcome back to the next session of Software Engineering Lab. In today's session, we shall continue with experiment number 7 in our lab syllabus, in which we will be covering monitoring using Nagios tool. So in this particular exercise, we will be setting up and running Nagios using Docker for quick and simple installation. Then we will be assessing the Nagios dashboard. We will explore all its features. Then after that, we will be monitoring the health and status of the system as well as its services. Then after that, we will also learn how to manage notifications, settings, checks and all in Nagios tool. And finally, we will understand how to stop and remove the Nagios from the Docker container once we are finished. So firstly, make sure that you are opening your Docker desktop and signing in into it. After that, open your PowerShell in administration mode or any of your terminal depending upon your operating system. So firstly, let us understand what is Nagios. Nagios is basically a tool which is used to monitor the systems or the networks or the infrastructure. So you can imagine it as a security guard, okay, for your servers, your networks and your services. So what it does is it basically constantly checks if everything is functioning correctly, and it immediately alerts when something goes wrong also. Okay, now we are using this monitoring tool Nagios with the help of Docker. So why did we choose Docker? Is Docker, it's basically like a container or a box that contains software along with all its requirements that is needed for that application to run. So using this Docker, you don't have to manually install Nagios or its dependencies in your system. Dependencies in the sense the libraries and the configurations. So everything is pre-packed and it makes the process faster and easier. So that is the reason we are using Docker to install and monitor the Nagios. Right? So the first thing we have to do is to pull the Nagios image. So where is this Nagios image? The Nagios image will be there inside the Docker Hub. So you know what is a Docker Hub? It is like an online market where for Docker containers. Okay, it's where all the software images are stored. Now we are going to get this Nagios image from the Docker Hub. So for that, what we have to do is we have to call for the command docker pull. So you have to say docker pull JSON reverse / Nagios :latest. So this is the command we will be using to pull the Nagios image. So what is this command actually doing? This command is telling the Docker to pull the latest version of Nagios from a specific repository which is called as JSON reverse. So many of the repositories have this Nagios, but we will be using from a repository which is named as JSON reverse. Okay, so once we execute this particular command, depending upon the speed of the internet, the image will take a little amount of time to, to pull, to download and all. So we just need to wait for 1 minute of time to complete depending upon the speed of the internet. Okay, so once everything is downloaded, you can see the image in your Docker Hub here. So we'll just wait for a minute. Not the Docker Hub, but you can see the image once it is being pulled in your Docker desktop. So we'll just go back and see. So it took me ample amount of time to actually, pull everything completely. And now you can see that the Nagios is successfully downloaded. Okay. The next thing we have to do is to run the Nagios, right? So the docker run command is basically used to start the software container so that it can run on your system. So for that, what we have to do, we have to type the command docker space run hyphen name space. You can give any name of your choice. I am giving Nagios demo space -p, then 888:80 space JSON reverse / Nagios :latest. So this is basically the command that we will be using to run the Nagios inside a container. Okay, so what do you mean by hyphen Nagios demo? This is basically the name of the container. So Nagios demo is the name of the container so that you can easily identify it later. Okay, -p 8888:80. So this is basically what it is doing is it is mapping your computer's port. This is your computer's port to that of the port of your Nagios, which is running inside the container. So Nagios is running in port number 80 inside your container. That we are trying to map it to our computer port so that we will be able to access this service on the web browser, right? And JSON reverse Nagios latest is the software image that we have downloaded from the Docker Hub. So what will happen when I press enter? So when I press enter, basically Docker will start the Nagios container. Okay, so you can see a confirmation message which is saying Nagios is successfully launched here. So if you get this message, that means now Nagios is successfully launched. So what you have to do, you have to go to your browser and you have to type localhost 8888, right? So it is asking for a prompt in which you have to enter the credentials of your Nagios web interface, and by default it is Nagios admin. Okay, for everybody it is the common username and password. So the username is Nagios admin and the password is Nagios, Nagios. So just type the username and password to sign in. So this is basically the Nagios dashboard. Okay, so now let us understand what is exactly happening in this Nagios dashboard. The first thing you have here is the general information. So you have the Nagios version on the top here, you can see. Okay, you have an update version here. So in the left navigation panel, this black menu, whatever you're seeing on the left side, helps you to navigate through the Nagios. So you have a home option here, which will help you to return to your main dashboard. You have a host option here, which will display the list of systems that are being monitored, or the list of hosts that are being monitored. Then you have something called as services here. Services shows basically the activities or the tasks that are being monitored by Nagios. Like for example, the CPU usage, the disk space, the network status, all these services. Then you have something called as reports here, which will provide some historical data about your system. Okay. Then the next thing you have is the main content here in the middle, which is called as the dashboard content, right? If you go through this, in this dashboard content, you have something called as the system status on the top. Green box indicates, here you can see the green box. It indicates that everything is working fine. If you are having some red or yellow boxes, it means that there is some problem or there is some warning here. Okay, so you can see all these boxes here, right? Now, next you have is the latest alerts here. In the latest alerts, you can see basically, this is basically the list of recent issues that is being detected by your Nagios. So you can have a source here. Source is something, nothing but it shows a system, okay, which had an issue. It also gives you an alert describing the problem of what is the issue and all. Then you have something called as a status, server status here on the bottom left, as you can see here, which talks about what is the load, what is the CPU status and all. Then you have a status grid, which talks about the status of the monitored host as well as the servers here. Okay, so you can see the green circles here. Green circles means everything is fine. If you're having anything like this red color circles or yellow color circles, that means it has indicated certain issues. Okay, now let us see how to monitor specific hosts. Now you can click on this host option here on the left side. So you can, this is the host option. So we can go to this host and you can see the list of systems that are monitored. So here you have your local host that is being monitored, which is nothing but your own system. So you can click on this local host. So if you want to explore this, basically it talks about the host status, right? So host, see, basically this section is the system that is being monitored, the local host that is being monitored. Okay, you can see here the local host that is being monitored. It is also telling that the local host is basically a member of your Linux server, and this is basically the host IP address. So the IP address of my particular system, right? So this particular middle section, whatever you're seeing, is called as the host state information. So it talks about the current health and performance of your particular host. So you can see the first one, which is called as host status, which is up, and it is in green color. That means your system is working fine. Okay. Then you have the status information, which talks about Nagios checks if the system is alive or not. So it pings frequently to check if the system is fine or not. It's not having any packet loss. It's round trip time. The overall performance is being fast or slow. Everything is being pinged and checked time to time. Okay. Then after that you have the last check. When did Nagios server last checked your system performance? Then when is your next check scheduled? Okay. Then you have something called as flapping here, which is no. So flapping is basically flapping occurs when your system repeatedly goes up and down. So if no means your system is stable, right? Then you have the active checks here. So you can see that all are enabled, the active checks, passive checks, notifications, see, all these are called as monitoring features. They are notifications, active checks and all. These are enabled in the sense Nagios is monitoring everything properly. Now on to the right side, you can see something called as host commands. So these are basically the commands or the actions that you can perform on your host system. Okay, so if you want to locate your host on the map, if you want to see host location on the network map, or say suppose you want to stop Nagios from checking this host automatically, then you can click on this. So if you want to reschedule next check, you like forcefully, if you want to make your Nagios to check the host immediately, then you can click on this particular option. Then you have something called as disable notifications here. If you want to turn off the alerts from this particular host, then you have some scheduled downtime. So if you want to plan to shut down this particular host to avoid unnecessary alerts, then you can use this. So this is basically how your Nagios software is actually monitoring your system. Okay, now once that we have finished understanding how this Nagios is working and what is the server actually doing, then we have to stop the Nagios. So for that, what we will do is we will open our PowerShell, one more PowerShell, okay, in administration mode. So after we finish opening the PowerShell in another administration mode, the next thing we will be doing is checking for Docker PS. Okay, so Docker PS is now telling me that Nagios container is currently running. You can either use the ID of the container or simply you can use the name of the container. Okay, so you can copy this name and you can say Docker stop and paste the name. Okay, so the Docker container has been stopped. So after running this command, Docker will stop the Nagios and it will no longer be running. So you can go back here and you can just, if you refresh, you will not get the page. The service is now stopped, right? The next thing we can do is to delete the Nagios from your system. So for that, you can say Docker rm and you can say Nagios demo, because the name itself is Nagios demo. So I'll write this Nagios demo only here. So even the container is now completely permanently deleted. Okay, so if suppose if you got an error, that means your container is still running. So make sure that you're stopping it first and then you're deleting it. Now you have to delete the Nagios image. So you can just type Docker images here. You will get list of all the images. You can see the image name here. So I'm going to delete this particular image. So copy that image and simply say Docker RMI and then paste the image. So image also will be deleted. Okay, so this is how you have to use your Nagios service, the server, using your Docker, monitor your local system and make sure that you are taking screenshots at every step that you are doing with every command and with the dashboard of your Nagios and all. Okay, so thank you so much.